Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to my Greek Orthodox Odyssey. Today I thought it'd be a good idea just to have a chat to you about fasting and my experiences of fasting, and just to go for a bit of a walk and talk, and once again just to chit-chat about the power one gets through the discipline of fasting. A lot of people are not aware that the Greek Orthodox fast for a number of days throughout the year. The most important one, of course, is the Lenten fast, the fast that prepares us for Holy Week. And of course, Holy Week fast is a strict fast as well. So those two are really basically combined into one momentous fasting period. We also fast for Christmas, 40 days leading into Christmas, 15 days leading into Dispanagias, the repose of the Ever Virgin Mary, which is in August, the first 15 days of August. We've also got an Apostles' fast, but we also fast, and a lot of people are not aware of this, but there's also a strict fast which happens twice a week, virtually every week, on Wednesdays and Fridays. And the reason why the Greek Orthodox fast on Wednesdays and Fridays is in commemoration and in memory of Jesus' betrayal, which happened on a Wednesday, and the crucifixion and death, which happened on the Friday. So more than half of the calendar year is dedicated to strict fasting for Greek Orthodox. And strict fasting means no meat, so no pork, no chicken, no lamb, no beef, no fish that have backbones, such as just normal fish. Anything which has a backbone is taken out from that fasting regime. No eggs, no milk, no dairy, no cream. And you can have shellfish on occasion. And with the fasting, there's always that question about whether or not you should have substitutes. So instead of milk, have soy milk, or instead of cheese, have soy cheese, or instead of this, have that. But on the one hand, it can be useful for people who are just starting their fasting regime and people who are going through their elementary conditioning to learn how to fast. But as Father Stephen of St. Spiridon said many years ago when I attended one of his lectures, he says, you're only kidding yourself when you're substituting milk for soy milk, because you're not really limiting or addressing the spirit of fasting, I guess is the way he put it. So the power and strength that one gets through fasting, I can only describe my own experiences, is that it is very, very liberating to do a fast, because you suddenly find that you can survive without meat. You can survive with all the other things that you thought you couldn't survive with. For me now, leading up to Easter, I will go 55 days without eating meat, and once again without eating pork, chicken, lamb, beef, and not having any products such as eggs, dairy, cream, cheeses, all of those that are sourced from animals. So why is it powerful? Why is it empowering? Because you realise that through the power of decision making, through the power of commitment, you are not tied, you are not shackled to any passion. You can live quite easily without meat. You can live quite easily without dairy. You can live quite easily without all the other passions and indulgences that we have in our lives. And to think that I can walk past the finest restaurants in Australia. I'm actually standing on top of the Key restaurant, one of the finest dining institutions in Sydney, and to say to myself that I can walk past the windows, I can see the people eating and not feel at all tempted to sway from my purpose, sway from my course. The greatest chef in the world could be here right in front of me now, and he could not in any way, shape or form tempt me to eat meat or to eat anything that I'm fasting from. That in itself is such a powerful feeling that I think we all need to experience it at some time in our lives, to know that you are unshackled from all of the things that you thought that you could not live without. So I guess that's the feeling, that's the sensation that one gets, and it's not easy. Fasting is quite dramatic on the body, but the good news is that you can get used to it. It's something that you can do. Anybody can do it, barring of course people who have dietary challenges. But it starts meal by meal. It starts decision by decision. You just need to decide initially that you're going to fast and follow the Lenten fast, or follow the Christian fast that the Greek Orthodox follow, and I'm referring to Greek Orthodox now. So don't think that I'm trying to convert anybody or trying to insist that anybody, even Greek Orthodox, fast. But what I'm suggesting is that by fasting, you learn a lot more about yourself and what you're capable of doing, and to realize that a lot of the things that you thought were impossible are in fact very possible and very easy once you set your mind to it and once you can commit to it. So I guess that's about it. You know, it's all in our heads, but let me reinforce a message that Archbishop Stylianos said many years ago when I attended a sermon that he was giving around about this time of year, and he implored his flock, and he said that if you can fast, if bodily and mentally you have the capacity to fast, then why wouldn't you? In fact, he said that if you can fast, you must. Because as we said, it will teach you more about yourself. It will get you to find the deep strengths that we all have in our bodies, in our minds, and make you feel a lot better about yourself, because you've done something that you probably thought that you'd never be able to do. Because fasting for 55 days from meat, for meat eaters, and I'm a meat eater, is a challenge. But it's an opportunity, it's a brilliant opportunity to detox your body from meat, from dairy, from sugars, from a whole host of dietary intake, which is processed, that we need to basically detox ourselves from and to break away from in order to enhance and to manage our health. As I alluded to before, anybody who practices a Greek Orthodox fasting regime will basically be fasting for 50% of the year, given that twice a week is a strict fast. We fast for 40 days for Easter, 40 days for Christmas, 15 days for August, for the Panagias, and also the Apostles' fast, which all in all adds up to about 200 days, which is a little bit more than half a year. So just think of the health benefits that you can enjoy by just simply following the Greek Orthodox fast, which incidentally, a lot of people talk about the Mediterranean diet and how powerful it is to help people live longer, live better, and live more healthily. I guess the bottom line is that it's not the Mediterranean diet that is the key. It's the fasting regime that is included within that Mediterranean diet, which is the key, by eliminating periods of eating meats, dairy, sugars, and limiting the alcohol to certain periods, and basically trying to live as modestly as you can, because during a period of fasting you're basically eating less, so you're eating maybe once or twice a day, and you're eating modest amounts of foods which are not fat-laden, calorie-laden, and you're basically giving your body an opportunity to have a break from the feasting. And the beauty of the Greek Orthodox faith is that you have periods of fasting, but you also have periods of indulging in feasting and partying. So we have the best of both worlds. So something to consider for those of my friends and family who are Greek Orthodox, who have never been or never done a fast. Maybe this year could be the first time you try it. And the best advice I can give you is to engage a spiritual father who will give you some fasting rules to follow, depending on where you're up to in terms of your spiritual growth, where you stand or where you're up to on your spiritual path. And they can make it as strict or as lenient as needs to be in order to cater to your particular needs. So I think I'll leave it there. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay committed, stay reasonable, and try, if possible, to live your faith, even if it is just for 1 year. Just to be able to look back over your life and say, well, I did it once, I did it properly, and you can either have, and just reflect on what you gained from it, what you learned from it, and how you benefited from it, because I guarantee that you will feel liberated. I guarantee that you will feel healthier. I guarantee that you will surprise yourself how strong, how well you feel by being able to take up a challenge and to achieve it to the best of your ability. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for now. So thank you very much for joining me from this wonderful location, standing on top of the roof of the Key restaurant and I feel like I'm liberated. I feel like I'm a victor, that I'm able to do what I'm doing and to be able to be an ambassador to my family who have gone before me, because at the end of the day they have handed down these gifts, these traditions, these customs to me so that I can live, learn and pass them on. So let's try and support each other. Let's try and do what we can do in order to live our faith as best we can, and to be work in progress, and to try and improve step by step, and to be the better version of ourselves, given that the fasting will also be in terms of the negativities, the bitterness and all the other things, the bad things in our lives. We try and minimise during this period where we self-reflect, and we try and improve ourselves little by little, but as best we can. Take care everybody, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me. I know it's tricky, I know it's a difficult sort of conversation to have, but it shouldn't be a difficult conversation, because it was conversations that our parents had with us, our grandparents, and all the wonderful people that we had in our lives over the many years. So we must never forget those lessons, the gift of orthodoxy that they've passed to us, and to try and make the most of it when we can and as we can. Γεια σας, φιλάκια, it's starting to sprinkle again. Φιλάκια from Jim on Jim's 5am Club. Bye for now.